Welcome into the program, everybody. It's Scott Beason Radio on this day, a Tuesday, the 25th day of September in the year of our Lord 2018. I hope you're having a fantastic morning out there in the heart of God's country. Just enjoying the fact that we are blessed to live in the United States of America. The President of the United States is currently addressing, I know, the United Nations General Assembly. All the little guys from all the little countries around the world are sitting out there in what I consider a pretty ugly room. I don't know who their decorator is, but they need to hire somebody from Alabama to do it. My wife could do it for them. It's just an ugly place. You would think with the billions of dollars that we give them, they could hire an interior designer that didn't come from, I don't know, the backside of Baghdad or something. I don't know what's wrong with them. But the president is absolutely throwing down. We've got a guest coming in just a few minutes, but let me just kind of get you up to speed on some of the things he's talked about right now. He is talking about that the United States is taking a long, hard look at who it gives money to. Big Dave will love that. Good morning, Big Dave. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you
I'm
today?
doing good, doing well. He says we are only going to give foreign aid to those who respect us. He's already pointed out the fact that we give some huge percentage of the amount of money that goes to the United Nations. He's also reminded the delegates there that the United States is the most charitable nation in the world. Now he's saying that other countries must pay the cost for their own defense.
Amen.
He's already said that anywhere socialism and communism go, it leads to poverty and destruction, and it's a disaster. He pointed out Venezuela and announced new sanctions against that country and its leadership. They're going to be very happy about that, I am sure. He also announced that the United States will not be taking part, not joining in the International Compact on Migration. Did you know there was such a thing? Very few Americans know that the United Nations has been pushing for an International Compact on Migration. You know what that's supposed to be for?
No, I don't.
It is so that the United
birds?
Nations will decide whether or not Europe, the United States, Canada, wherever, must allow millions of people from other places to just stream into their country because the United Nations says it's a good thing.
Bull crap.
He reminded the delegates that each country is responsible for their own sovereignty, and he said that these people who want to migrate should stay and make their own countries great. I know that just ticked them off. There are people on the left in this country that their heads are spinning around. I am surprised, and it may have already happened. The press just has not told us. I am surprised some of the delegates here have not gotten up and walked out. So he's announced new sanctions on Venezuela. We are not joining this goofy international compact on migration. He's also addressed the argument that so many people are making of, oh, well, the United States is not playing a role, it's not doing. He says, look, we believe in the doctrine of patriotism. We put our country first, just like we expect you to put your country first. I can't hear everything he's saying, but a good line would be, just because you have been making your country great with U.S. dollars while we've bled out, and we know you like that policy, we've decided to put an end to that policy. We will all carry our own weight. If we want free trade, we're for free trade. If you want no tariffs, just perfectly openness between us when it comes to economic markets, so be it. He also said that refugees should be taken care of close to their homes. Don't bring refugees over these other countries, not to Europe, Not to the United States. Nowhere. I'm telling you, the people at the United Nations, tomorrow morning, the New York Times, MSNBC, and CNN are losing their minds. The president is again talking highly of the United States, about our traditions, that we love our country, that we plan to put our country first, that Americans know what kind of future that we want. He's basically saying America is going to lead, we are going to be great, and you've got a choice to make. Do you want to go with us to a new day of prosperity and peace through strength? Or do you want to just grovel and lay around in this mess that many of you in this room of international leaders have helped create? Great example. European Union countries, as this is happening, knowing this speech is coming, are still trying. They are actually, let's see if I can find that article. Our guest will be up right after the first break. They are literally putting in place a workaround so that European countries, Germany, Britain, France, and I don't know what other pansy country is in that list, can work around any sanctions the United States puts on the Iranian regime, because the Iranians are the world's largest sponsor of terror. They absolutely are seeking nuclear weapons that they do not need. But the Europeans can't help it. They cannot help themselves. They are trading with the criminals. They are trading with the terrorists, and it's making them some money. And they absolutely want to keep going ahead. Now, you remember a few months back, Big Dave, the president was ripped to shreds because he might dare insult European leaders about not paying their fair share when it comes to NATO. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the wrong way. He's way too crass. He doesn't have the diplomatic abilities that other people like Barack Obama and his people had. He's going to insult them. You know who's helping these European countries with their little workaround so they can keep making money off Iran? Two names: Russia and China. And who were we supposed to, we're supposed to protect the Europeans from Russia, right? So who do they go to so they can keep making money for their little corrupt selves? Russia and China. It just amazes me the things that the press in this country do not tell us. Because that's like on page 412 of the newspapers, if the newspapers still had enough people reading them to print 412. I don't even know how many sections they have left. But they don't want us to know that. Because if the American people knew that the little European powers were busy working around so they could help Iran and working with Russia, somebody might start asking, well, then why are we paying their bills to defend them from Russia? That's their buddies. Let them go play with their buddies. It's unbelievable. We do have a great guest. I'm going to calm myself down. He has walked into the studio. We'll get him after this break. We'll take it early. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Skunk Beason Radio.